The race for Secretary of State is one of Indiana's most closely watched contests, featuring candidates representing 4 different political parties. Democrats haven't won statewide in Indiana since 2012, but the party's pick in this race is looking like an increasingly strong candidate to show Democrats just how to win in Trump country. With us now, Democratic nominee for Indiana Secretary of State, Beau Bye. He's also an attorney and served as a captain in the U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you so much for being with us. And Peter Baker, New York Times' Peter Baker's with us and has the first question for you. Peter.
Hi, sir. Thanks for being with us today. Appreciate it. A lot of conversation today because of the Florida primary and because of other primaries in recent weeks about where the Democratic Party is heading. So I guess I'm kind of curious for you as a candidate in Indiana, what you think matters to voters there. Are you going to have to answer questions as to what you think about Democratic Socialists, whether that defines the party these days? Does that challenge or make your challenge harder in an otherwise red state? Or how do you answer that question?
Thank you so much for having me on, Joe and Peter. I've been singularly focused in this race on speaking about 2 issues. One, the rampant corruption that has taken hold of my state government. We have statewide elected officials purchasing helicopter pads on the taxpayer dime, hiring their relatives to 6-figure salaries. We have a president who has enriched himself to the tune of $2 billion just this past year. Meanwhile, we've started a senseless war in the Middle East. Costs are up. The cost of diesel and fertilizer for farm communities in my state has made it really hard just to get by. Rural hospitals are closing and public schools are not getting the support that they need. That's offensive. That's not what our public servants should be focused on. And so I can only speak to what we're doing here in Indiana, but we're focusing on the issues that matter for working people, not just Democrats, but independents and Republicans too.
Beau, hi, it's Molly Jong-Fast. So you have this very unusual situation that you're running against, and I would love you to talk a little bit about it. Basically, the candidate that you were running against was scandal-plagued and pulled out in the 11th hour. Explain this and explain why this creates an opportunity for you.
Yeah, so they have replaced a sitting statewide office holder at the 11th hour. You're correct. They did not replace him because he's incompetent, which he is. They did not replace him because he's corrupt, which he also is. They have replaced him at the 11th hour because they figured out that they were going to lose to our campaign. And think about what that says about them. They're not interested in good government. They're not interested in being a good steward of the taxpayer resources. They could care less about that. They're interested in retaining power for its own sake. And that is everything wrong with politics in our country today. Hoosiers and Americans generally are ready for leadership that actually cares about the people they intend to serve. That's not what we're going to get in my opponent here in this race. He wants to maintain the status quo. I want some much needed change here in our state.
Beau, where did you learn the most about what you're doing right now? From sitting around the kitchen table and listening to your dad and mom, or from the United States Marine Corps?
Well, a little bit of both. And, I was raised in a family of public servants. You're right. And growing up, that affects you. You see the impact that your granddad, for example, is able to have in authoring the 26th Amendment to our Constitution at a time in our country that you remember. When young Hoosiers in my state were fighting and dying in a war in Vietnam, they didn't have the right to vote on whether that war continued. And so he was able to lower the voting age from 21 to 18, the premise being that if you're old enough to fight and die for your country, you ought to be able to have a say at the ballot box. And so I learned from him growing up about representing the people of our state, giving back to a country and a state which I love so much and has given me so much. And that's why I joined the United States Marine Corps. And the biggest lesson in leadership that I learned in the Marine Corps, the units that I was in command of, we came from all different walks of life. One of the best parts about our nation's military is it looks a lot like our country. We didn't agree on everything, just like people and their families don't agree on everything. But at the end of the day, despite those disagreements, we were able to come together to achieve some very difficult missions. We have too much division in our country today, too many leaders that focus on all of the little things that divide Americans rather than the big things that we all have in common. That's the type of leader I was in the Marine Corps, bringing people together around a common mission. That's the type of leader I'm going to be in the Secretary of State's office here in Indiana.
All right, Democratic nominee for Indiana Secretary of State, Beau Bye, thank you so much for being with us.